guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different. I finally got round to filming my Q&A. I know this is something that I have promised for quite a long time. So normally I do my Q&As on Instagram, but I thought why not, let's mix it up and video them, and I thought it would kind of help you kind of get to know me a little bit better. I asked everyone to send me their questions through Instagram, so I have lots of questions to answer. Some of them are quite similar, so I've kind of combined them into one. So grab a cuppa and let's get going. So I didn't really know where to start with the questions, but I will start with some of the more basic, kind of most common questions first. So I'm always asked my age and things like that. So I'm 28. I am 5'5", I think. My most common question that anyone ever asks is my weight, but I have zero idea how much I weigh. I am a UK size 6/8, I would say. I also get asked a lot about my nationality. So I am British. I grew up in Staffordshire in the middle of nowhere in the countryside, and then I moved to London once I graduated. But I am a quarter Greek. My grandma is from Athens. Another thing I'm always asked is whether Instagram is my main job. So I used to work actually in insurance. So I studied business management at Nottingham Uni. Kind of panicked when I graduated, and I was like, oh my god, what do I do? I worked in a marketing agency for a bit, but I wasn't getting paid, and I had a few friends that worked in insurance in London. It was quite fun, like it's a very like people facing industry, and I kind of just got sucked in and ended up doing that. But then a few years later I was like, what am I doing? It's just really not for me. Like, I'm such a girly girl and it's such a male dominated industry. So I decided I wanted to open a cafe. You all know I'm obsessed with coffee and food, so it's kind of like my dream. And I started my Instagram as a food and kind of travel Instagram as like kind of like a source of market research, I guess. But then I found out that some of the photos I was in when I was wearing an outfit often did better, and then it kind of just developed into what it is now. I never ever in a million years thought that I would be an influencer, or I never ever in a million years thought this would ever be my job. I never thought I would end up on YouTube. Never. But luckily, after doing it for a couple of years, I hit 50k, and I quit my job in insurance and took this on full time, and I've never looked back. So I've also been asked quite a few times about how I have made this my job and how I earn a living from it. So there are many kind of avenues or revenue streams. You probably see when I say ad in a post. So for instance, if I say ad at the start of an Instagram post or in a story, it means the brand has paid me to feature that product. Or if I use the hashtag AF, then it means it's an affiliate link. So if you buy anything from that website, I will take 10 to 15% kind of commission from there. Also, I've been paid to do photo shoots, or like going to events and that kind of thing. So obviously with coronavirus at the moment, a lot of brands have stopped their campaigns or delayed them. So as you can imagine, like lots of other industries at the moment, the influencer marketing industry is struggling a little bit as well. So I'm basically using the time to kind of create some very like organic content which can kind of provide a little bit of escapism for you guys. I think it's good for us to still get excited about summer, and also once we are kind of allowed out our houses a little bit more, it would be great to have some amazing outfits lined up. So another thing I'm asked is always like tips for other people who are starting Instagram. Everyone's style is different, but I can say patience is so important. Obviously, the market is so saturated at the moment, and you will be competing against lots of people. So unless you go on Love Island or something, it's unlikely you're going to grow overnight. Another thing I would say is authenticity is key. Do not get tempted to copy anyone else. I know that there's so much content on Instagram, but I do think keeping to your own style is so important. I mean, obviously I do have my own fashion inspirations, but I try not to go on Instagram that much because I feel like it's so important to stay true to what you love, and not get tempted to be pulled into kind of those Instagram fashions. Like, obviously fashion is changing so much generally, but on Instagram I think it's changing at an even quicker pace, so I try not to get sucked into that. Another really important thing is consistency. I know that obviously my outfits can be quite similar, like I have things that I suddenly get obsessed with, like polka dots or tweed or frills or puff sleeves, but I do think consistency is really important because you need to appeal to your audiences. I also get asked about who takes my photos and also what camera I use. So in terms of cameras, I always use an iPhone. I have an iPhone 8 Plus, but I am desperate to get the new one. It's just so expensive. It's like £1,200, isn't it? It's just mental. But I did try the new camera on someone else's phone and the video is insane. So I am very tempted. So yeah, I just use it on a normal mode, and for YouTube I am actually using my phone this time, but I normally I have two cameras. I have a Canon G7 Mark II, I will link it below, and I also have a big like SLR camera, a Canon 700D, but yeah, I'll put the links below if you are thinking of investing in some kind of photography equipment. So obviously before lockdown I would always take my street style photos, normally kind of around Mayfair, with other bloggers. So over the last couple of years I've made really good friends with other fashion influencers. We've been away on holiday together, went to Hvar last year and also Mykonos last year, so we always take our photos together, which is really nice. But obviously at the moment the photos I'm posting are several weeks old now, and I'm kind of just slowly posting them, so you've still got some new content, and I'm also posting lots of my travel content from last year. So these are kind of reflections on like on like some amazing trips I took, but it also acts as a little bit of escapism for you guys, and also kind of can get you a little bit excited about some trips you can start planning. That's also another question actually I'm asked, is what trips am I planning, or what trips were I planning? Well, obviously any trips that I was meant to have have been cancelled. So I was meant to be going to Dubai. I also wanted to go back to Venice in spring, but obviously those two trips were cancelled. So at the moment we don't know when we will be able to travel again, but places on the top of my list are always Italy. Is my favourite country. I just love the food, I love the people, it's just so stunning, and I am so desperate to go back. So I would absolutely love to go to the Amalfi Coast again, and also Venice because it's one of my favourite places. As well as that, I would love to go to Japan. I'd be fascinated by the culture, and it's meant to be so beautiful. And also I would love to go to South Africa. I love my wine, so a wine tour sounds a dream. I would also love to do a safari when I'm there as well. So lots of exciting plans. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be able to do some of those soon. So you guys also asked if I was married or if I had a boyfriend. So I have a boyfriend. He is called Alex. You have probably seen him in one of my Instagram posts or on my story at some point. So we have been together for over a year, and we met on Hinge back in January, February kind of time last year, and he works in sports marketing. So yeah, we both kind of work in kind of like similar industries. Someone also asked what the weirdest question I've ever been asked, and I keep getting the same question from several people, and it's always about foot fetishes and my opinion on foot fetishes. It's quite difficult to say. And the weirdest thing is that every time I do a Q&A, I also get a WhatsApp through asking about foot fetishes, and I don't know who this WhatsApp is from, how they've got my number. I don't know if someone's playing a prank. I just don't know what's going on. But yeah, that is probably one of the most common questions, and also the weirdest. I mean, I don't know if I need to answer it, but the fact that I've referred to it as the weirdest question I've ever been asked probably answers the question. I also get lots of kind of fashion related questions, always what my favourite shops are. I think we probably all know I love a little bit of Zara, especially in winter. Zara is always my fave in winter because they always have such classic pieces, lots of tweed, lots of really lovely knits. For summer stuff, I really love Revolve. I know that it's a US brand, so a lot of people are a bit worried about buying from there, but they do free returns, the customs are included, so it literally is just like buying from a UK website. Apart from it is obviously like a slightly higher price point. Also for summer, what do I love? Oh, H&M have got such a lovely summer collection at the moment. I love everything. Also Nasty Girl. Also definitely check out Storettes. It's an online store and they sell really lovely like tailored pieces, tweed pieces, like really lovely sets like cords. And also if you're looking for a bargain, I don't know how you say it, whether it's Shein or Shein, but they always have such good summer pieces. They are super cheap. I think a dress is normally like under £10 and the quality is normally quite good, but I have had one shocker from there where the dress was almost like a shower curtain. But most of the time it's a really good value and I would recommend it. I also have been spending a fortune on ASOS at the moment. They have such lovely summer dresses, and in fact I am going to be doing a summer dress ASOS haul, just because I've purely managed to accumulate that many things from there. I've also been asked lots of questions about my beauty kind of routine. So I got a couple of questions about my favourite lipstick. So the lipstick I'm wearing at the moment is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I love this shade because it's kind of lip colour but better, like a bit darker than your natural lip colour. So I just think it's like the perfect everyday shade. My favourite mascara is a Marc Jacobs mascara. So I go between two mascaras, a day one and a night one. The day one I use is a Marc Jacobs one because it's more of a lengthening mascara and it's very subtle. It separates all your lashes and looks really natural and lovely. And then the nighttime kind of night out one, obviously not doing any nights out at the moment, but if I'm feeling like I want to get dressed up on a Friday night for no reason, then I will use the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes. It's super volumizing, makes your lashes look so thick and it's very dramatic, hence the name. And yeah, it's so good for like a super glam look. Again, I will link both of those below. Foundations is something I'm always asked about too. So I go between two foundations depending on the look that I want or what I'm doing. So at the moment I have Code 8 Day to Night on. So this is a little bit lighter than my other foundation. It's a little bit more dewy, I guess, a little bit more kind of has a bit more of a glow to it. So this is kind of my everyday foundation. The other foundation I wear if I'm kind of taking photos or going on a night out is my Bobbi Brown longwear one. I will link it below. And this literally lasts all day. You don't need to top it up. It's so good. And they do it in so many different shades. And it has oil control in it, so if you struggle with oily skin, this is perfect for you. I've used it for years. I just love it. I've also had quite a lot of questions about skincare and my favourite products, my kind of skincare kind of heroes and what I couldn't live without. Wanted to show you these. So these are universal peels from Dr. Dennis Gross. So these are so good. One wipe is the peel, but the second wipe is anti-aging, it's a hydrator, and it also neutralizes the acid. So I use these once a day and I have seen such a difference in my skin since using these. Another little thing that you can kind of see I'm running out of that I really love is the Dr. Lancer cleanser. So this one is for combination or normal skin, but I use this with my Foreo kind of cleansing brush. It really kind of gives your skin a deep clean and I've had so many less blemishes since using it. Another skincare product which I love is the Tan Luxe tanning drops. So these are so good because they kind of combine tanning and also skincare. It's kind of like a serum and it has hyaluronic acid in it, and the colour is such a lovely kind of like natural glow, and on days where you don't really want to wear makeup then this is perfect. This is also the moisturiser I am literally loving. So this is an Elizabeth Arden Skin Illuminating Moisturiser. So it's very brightening and also hydrating, and the texture is so lovely. I love this, and it also I get quite worried about using new moisturisers because I get worried I might break out, but with this one I haven't. I am always asked about the fake tan I use. So at the moment I'm using Saint Tropez the Gradual Tan. So when I want like quite a deep tan I will use Saint Tropez gel, but at the moment, because I'm not really in need of a deep tan, I'm using the Gradual Tan because I often find like a proper tanning product, like a gel product, really dehydrates my skin. So the really good thing about this is it's really hydrating. It's such a lovely natural colour, it doesn't streak, it's just such a good one. Would definitely recommend this one. But yeah, as I keep saying, I will link everything below if you want to look at it in a little bit more detail. I've also been asked about my fitness routine. I'm gonna be honest, I'm very up and down with my fitness. If I've got a holiday coming up, I'm really good and I will literally get the fitness bug and I'll be at the classes all the time. But recently, obviously I have no holidays planned. I feel like I just kind of like fall off the wagon. Is that the right phrase? Yeah. But when I do have the motivation, obviously there aren't classes at the moment, but they are doing Instagram lives. And I love One Rebel. They are so good. I'm always going on about One Rebel, even though I haven't been in ages. I love it. It's kind of HIIT cardio mixed with weight training. So I really love that kind of combination together. So at the moment, I've been taking Lily on walks, and then I get home and I'll do some strengthening exercises and some, I guess, mainly core exercises. And I have also bought a new kind of activewear outfit, so that's going to inspire me and also motivate me to do it a bit more. My housemates have literally been going on runs every night and I'm just like, okay, bye, have fun. Meanwhile I'm just like, yeah, I'll just take Lily on a walk. I have also been asked about my hobbies, and I was also asked what I've been doing to kind of keep myself busy. Obviously in lockdown, so I'm not a very big cook at all, but since lockdown I've got really into it, and me and my housemates have kind of been taking it in turns. Like last weekend we did a meal all together. One of us did starter, one of us did main, one of us did dessert, and it's kind of a really nice thing for us all to do together. So yeah, I also want to get into baking. My housemate made the most amazing banana bread and now I'm gonna do the same. We've just finished it and I'm like, oh my god, we need to bake another one. It was amazing. We're doing a really cool thing on Friday. We are doing wine tasting, so it's an Instagram live. So an organic wine company basically sends you 3 bottles of wine, and then they will do an Instagram live tasting, which you then join, and then you can learn about the wines as you taste them, which I'm really excited about because I love wine. Another thing I really want to focus on is Pilates. I do really love Pilates. It's so good for stretching and for strengthening. It's really good for your core, and I don't do it enough. I am also always asked questions about little Lily and what breed she is. So she is a Cavapoujon, so that means she is half toy poodle, a quarter Cavalier and a quarter Bichon Frise. She is looking a little shaggy at the moment because obviously the dog groomers are shut. And she hasn't been able to have her hair cut, which obviously means that her hair is going over her eyes, bless her. So I think that brings us to the end of the Q&A. Do let me know if you have any other questions. I hope I have covered the main ones and the most common ones. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.